The virtual career fair is a new thing to many of us, and no longer can you just impress recruiters with a handshake and a smile. So here's your all-inclusive guide on acing a virtual career fair. Hey guys, it's Brian back at you with another video where my goal is to help you unlock a rewarding career and a life you'll be proud of. And if you're ready for that next pivotal role in your career, well, I'm here to help you. So be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on future videos. So virtual career fairs are pretty much uncharted territory for many of you, and this video is going to cover a lot of ground. First, I'm going to share with you why employers embrace career fairs and what they're looking for. Then we're going to dive into the best practices you need to have in place before you sign up for a virtual career fair. Then I'm going to share specific tips when it comes to actually attending the career fair. And then lastly, we're going to talk about what you need to do once the fair is over. And by the end of this video, you'll be miles ahead of the virtual career fair game. You ready? First things first, it's important for us to understand the intention of a career fair from the point of view of an employer. A career fair shouldn't be seen as a place for you to shop around and see what kind of jobs are available. Instead, it should be seen as your opportunity to sell yourself for a specific role and to get key contacts into your network. At the end of the day, the companies there want to hire, and they want to hire right now. I mean, they've invested a lot of money into these fairs and they've put a lot of time preparing for it. And in order for it to be successful in their eyes, meaning that they get a good return on their investment, that means that they want to hire you, they want to hire people right away. That means people that are ready to work tomorrow, not 8 months from now. So in preparation of a career fair, there are some key items that you're going to need to have in place before you get going. The first one is that you need to have your LinkedIn profile and resume primed and ready to go. Now, these companies are going to be doing some digging on you, perhaps visit your LinkedIn profile during the fair, and they're definitely going to be asking you for a resume. Which brings us to the second point, and that is to sign up early. Not only will this give you plenty of time to do some research and see what companies are attending, but it'll also give some time for the companies to do research about you. Perhaps they can hop onto your LinkedIn profile and learn more about you before the fair. Third, you need to do your research before the actual fair. It's important that your job search is also targeted. You have to know what companies you're going after, what roles are currently open, and that you're qualified for, so that you can actually discuss these items with the recruiter. And to this point, you should know what you want. I mean, maybe you want to work remotely or you want more flexibility in your hours, but you also need to know what kind of culture you want to work in, maybe the types of brands you're looking to be a part of. Like, this is all going to help you narrow your search, but it's also important that it's actually going to help the recruiters that you meet at the career fair. They're going to actually help you find that perfect role. Let's be honest here. If what you want is a remote job for a company that believes in an inclusive culture, then people need to know this, and you have to communicate this, right? It wouldn't make sense for recruiters to place you in an environment that is, full-time, has a long commute, and where profit is the number one priority. Fourth, because they're going to ask you for your resume, you'll want to make sure that you have your tailored resumes for all the roles that you're interested in, and be ready to have it in both PDF or doc versions. Which, by the way, if you need help on your resume, you can check out my video here where I reviewed 100 resumes in 48 hours and share the common mistakes that can actually kill your resume. And you can also get your resume reviewed by me, link down below. There's one more thing that you need to do in preparation of the career fair, and that is to make sure that you have the right setup. And here's a video that you can check out on that very topic, and it's all about the right lighting, camera angle, clear audio, and also, guys, be sure to test the system with a friend the day before the career fair. Also, you'll want to make sure that you're going to be free from distractions. Guys, don't attend a career fair while you're out with your family or driving a car. Yes, it does happen. And make sure that your family and roommates also know not to interrupt you during this time. So now that you're actually in the virtual career fair, what should you do? Well, first of all, I want you to be ready to stay at your desk the entire time. Of course, this depends on the format. Some career fairs have a format where recruiters will reach out to you when they're ready, and at a moment's notice, while others may have a formal presentation, and as a result, it gives you a better idea of timing and structure to the agenda. But the point here is that you need to be available, so don't move away from your desk. Have water and drinks so that it's within reach, and use the washroom beforehand. Now, as soon as you get into contact with a recruiter, when they fire you a message over chat, yes, you're going to have to answer their questions, but you'll also want to get their contact information right away, because you just never know if the connection is going to fail. So having a means to reconnect with them later is going to be essential. Next, you're going to have your strong elevator pitch ready. You need to know what value you offer, like your hard skills, years of experience, certifications, and anything else that will benefit the company. But you also need to know how you're unique from the rest of the candidates. And here's the kicker, right? You have to package this up in a simple, concise statement that also really captures their attention and makes them think like, oh wow, this person's different. You're going to need to know this by heart and be ready to tweak it for the appropriate role and company. And you may also want to write it out, which brings me to the next point. And that is, virtual career fairs operate using a chat feature where you're typing out your responses out to the recruiter. So have your answers ready, pre-written in a Word document where you can then just copy and paste, or where you can just quickly tweak the language, from a template instead of having to type it all out by hand. And because this is all done by chat, spelling and grammar means a lot here. So creating a great impression no longer includes a handshake, but instead means that you have to be able to type quickly, use complete sentences, and spelling matters. So have your answers to questions like, tell me about yourself, or why do you want to work here, already typed out in a separate document, and double check your final response before you hit that send button. Now, as your chat with the recruiter progresses, he or she may invite you right then and there to do a live video. So what does that mean for you? It means that you should be camera ready, right? Going into the career fair. That means no clutter in the background, that you're dressed well, you've got decent lighting, and that you're not going to start fixing your hair during the interview. It also means that you should be ready to activate your game face immediately. Enjoying the tips I'm sharing with you today? Well, let me know over at Facebook and join me in the Career Advice Club, where you'll get even more tips and strategies to help you in your job search. Alright, so you've survived the virtual career fair and met some recruiters in your target industry. So now what, right? Well, it's time to send a thank you note and connect with the recruiter on LinkedIn. Now, the thank you note is more than just saying thank you, of course, right? First of all, follow through with any requests or instructions from the recruiter. Like maybe they ask you to complete an application form or to send in your resume. Next, use the thank you note to jog their memory about you. Try to refer to something that you guys both talked about in the career fair. And then, of course, thank them for their time and the opportunity to meet. And guys, don't be shy about this. It's totally okay if you want to follow up the very next day. And I get the feeling that you're going to ask me, well, what happens if you don't hear from them, right? Well, what you can do is you can follow up with the recruiter the following week. But I really want you to know that sometimes placement in a role can take a long time, can take several months. So just because you don't hear from them doesn't mean that they forgot about you. Just give them the space they need and just check in once in a while. It's all about curating that relationship, whether they place you in a role, a week from now or in a year from now. But regardless, these are people that you definitely want on your side. Remember, you've already connected with these guys on LinkedIn, and that's a great medium that you can use to your advantage and keep you on top of their minds. So react and comment on their posts, and remember that the goal here is to stay in their line of vision and to get your name in front of them. Virtual career fairs definitely aren't easy, and let's be honest here, it's still very new to many of us, and we're always trying to figure it out. But with these tips, I know you're going to ace them. Guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.